Well, all right, we're back on this pine body. I'm going to go ahead and I think we'll go ahead and just trim everything out. I don't see any reason why I can't, so I will. Hope you all had a good 4th of July out there. Hope you were all safe and no tragedies happened and all that stuff. We had a busy week. Had a couple of doctor's appointments that we had to go to, and there goes my wife's phone. So we had a pretty busy week. We had to we sold some stuff on Marketplace, and people were coming in and out, and we just had one heck of a week. The only thing I don't like about Marketplace is people saying they're going to come out and get it or look at it or whatever, and they never show up. They don't text you back. They don't say anything to you. That's the part of Marketplace I don't like. I used to complain about Craigslist, but I never had the problems on Craigslist like I do on Marketplace. But anyway, enough of that. Looks like my magic marker's drying up on me here. We'll see if I can find another one. I like to use magic marker to mark my outer lines here. Yeah, that's better. At least a little better. And it's just a little easier to track when you're cutting it with the saw. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out, and we'll sand it. Then we'll use this as my template for the other half, for the pine part of this. This is the spalted poplar that we're using right now. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and I'll set the camera up so you can watch me do that if you want to watch. All right, there we do it. We have our shape. Now what I'll be doing, I'll take this over to my oscillating sander over here, and we'll final sand the edges here. I don't use routers on the edges of guitars anymore. We sand them here, and the reason being is I had a real bad accident several years ago where I ran my hand through a router, and that was not fun. And so I refuse to use a router bit to do edges of guitars anymore. And the sander works just as fine. It's maybe a little bit slower, but you don't get tear out, and it makes it nice and clean, just like anything else. And I notice my saw blade looks like it's getting dull. See how it's burning the wood? And that's a brand new saw blade. But anyway, so there's our basic shape. I'll take it over here and start sanding on it, and I'll bring you back in a little bit.
bottom was looking pretty bad.
Huh?
Just turn this over.
No, I'm gonna switch this out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch this cylinder out for cylinder, I mean, so I can sand this part of it. And I'm just trying to decide now. Old manitis. Yeah, I think we'll try one of these smaller ones. Trouble is, when this thing runs, this thing gets stuck on there, and I gotta use pliers. My hands just aren't strong enough to unscrew it anymore. But this just does. See, this comes up like that. And this cylinder sanding disc will slide right down on that. And I gotta find the washer that goes on there. Screw this back on there. I think this will reach. Well, maybe not. Yeah, it's getting hot out here. It's either getting or gotten. There we go. All right, that should hold it.
Vacuum back on?
Yes, please. All right, there we have it. These sanders, this one's from Harbor Freight. I can't remember how much I gave for it, but it wasn't that much. If you don't have one in your shop, you should get one. Really is see, clean them sides up really nice. Now we're going to transfer that over to that main body over here, wherever it went. There we are. And it's getting warm. So we're going to transfer this over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut this out next. And we'll go from there. I think my pans are drying up from being out here in the shop. I think so.
Just hold it close.
Yeah. point that fan down
Yep,
here.
I'll put it back. How's that?
This should be all right. All right, my blade's just getting too dull to cut even pines, so I'm gonna have to change out the blade later on, but I think I'm just gonna leave it. And then once I get the top glued onto it, then I'll finalize sanding it and all that stuff. I still need to cut this out. I'm gonna have to change my blade out before I can do that. But that's the basic shape of it. Like I said, I just put this blade on like a couple weeks ago, and I haven't even used it that much. But it's dull. So I bought another brand of blades, so we'll try them out here in a little while. Maybe not today, but probably tomorrow or something. Alrighty, that's gonna be it for today. It's awfully hot out here, and I can't take much more heat. Alrighty, we'll be talking at you. Bye now.